Dear God, I don't even know how to pray anymore. I just know I'm tired. Not physically, mentally. The kind of tired sleep can't fix. The kind that follows you everywhere, even in quiet rooms, even around people you love. And honestly, I think I've been fighting myself for so long, I forgot what peace even feels like. Still fighting the darkness, even when my heart feels numb, even when my mind keeps saying, maybe you should finally give up. Cold nights, empty soul, trying hard not to lose control, still breathing through the pressure, even when life moves slow. And I know these scars run deep, some wounds never fully leave, but I'm still here through the pain, still learning how to believe. I remember nights sitting in complete silence, just staring at the wall for hours, thinking about everything that went wrong, everything I lost, everything I never became. And hardest part, nobody around me knew how bad it got, because I mastered pretending, mastered smiling through emotional damage, mastered saying I'm good while mentally collapsing inside. I became the person everybody leaned on while secretly needing help myself. The strong friend, the calm one, the one nobody worried about. But truthfully, I was drowning quietly. There were nights anxiety hit so hard, my chest felt tight inside the dark, heart racing over things that hadn't happened, mind creating problems automatically. And people who never dealt with this think overthinking is simple to stop, but they don't understand what it feels like when your own brain becomes exhausting, when every small issue turns massive, when every memory feels active, with one awkward moment replays for weeks. And peace feels impossible to reach. Depression changed me slowly too, not dramatic all at once, just little things disappearing over time. Music stopped hitting the same, food stopped tasting the same, laughing stopped feeling genuine, and dreams stopped feeling realistic. I started isolating without realizing, ignoring texts for days at a time, canceling plans because mentally I couldn't handle pretending I was fine. And loneliness becomes addictive eventually. You get used to suffering privately. You stop expecting people to understand, so you carry everything alone instead. But carrying pain alone changes a person, makes you emotionally distant, makes you tired quicker, makes love harder to trust sincerely. I still remember crying in parked cars, driving through empty streets after dark, street lights reflecting through rainy glass, thinking about how fast life passed, thinking about younger me, specifically how hopeful that version used to be, how fearless, how alive. Before trauma and disappointment changed my mind, I missed that version honestly. The one who believed life worked out eventually, the one who trusted people naturally, the one who didn't hate himself constantly, cause self-hatred grows quietly, especially after enough failures repeatedly. You start blaming yourself for everything, even pain you didn't deserve experiencing. And social media made it harder too. Everybody showing perfect views, perfect love, perfect lives, while some of us are just trying to survive nights. Nobody posts panic attacks online, nobody uploads mental breakdowns, nobody shows the emptiness after fake friendships, or how depression destroys motivation slowly. So people start feeling alone and suffering like everybody else living beautifully. Meanwhile, they're barely making it emotionally. That kind of isolation damages people deeply. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones closest to giving up. Not because they're weak, but because they carry pain too long without enough rest. There was a point I stopped planning my future, not because I didn't want one, I just couldn't picture myself surviving long enough to actually enjoy it. That's how dark my thoughts became. And no, I didn't want attention, I wanted relief, wanted my mind to stop attacking me, wanted one peaceful night of sleep. One night without fear, one morning without heaviness, one moment where my chest didn't feel full of pressure, one day where existence didn't feel exhausting, but healing started slowly. The moment I admitted I was struggling honestly, the moment I stopped pretending strength meant silence, the moment I realized surviving mattered too. So I started rebuilding myself carefully, started taking walks alone at night, started writing feelings instead of hiding them, started understanding rest isn't weakness, started allowing myself to breathe again in public. Look small at first, then I got it bad earlier. Answering text again, listening to music Cause healing isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's tiny victories happening quietly. Sometimes growth is simply surviving another week without completely losing yourself mentally. Yeah. Another sleepless night again. Clock says 4 a.m. But honestly, I stopped caring what time it is. When your mind never rests, every night starts feeling the same. Cold room, heavy chest, too many thoughts, not enough peace. Heavy eyes, empty heart, trying not to fall apart. Late night thoughts keep haunting me, even when it's dark, and I still smile through the pain. Even when I feel drained, still fighting every single day just to feel okay again. Cold soul, lonely mind, searching for some peace inside. But every time I close my eyes, I fight myself all night. Yeah. I think the hardest part about depression is how invisible it looks from outside. People see you laughing sometimes, so they assume everything inside is alright. But they never see the nights you isolate, the nights you sit alone and mentally break, the nights your chest feels unbearably heavy and even breathing starts feeling exhausting. I had nights where I stared at my phone for hours, wanting to text somebody honestly, but not wanting to feel like a burden again. So I stayed silent instead, and silence changes people slowly, especially when they suffer emotionally. You start normalizing loneliness, even when it quietly destroys your mental health. I became distant without meaning to, not because I stopped caring about people. I just got tired of pretending I was okay when internally I was falling apart every day. Anxiety made me overthink everything. One little problem became catastrophic instantly. One awkward moment replayed for weeks. One disappointment made my whole chest weak. And people say stop worrying so much, like my brain got an off switch somewhere. Like trauma doesn't rewire your thoughts after enough pain and fear. That's something only certain people understand. What it feels like fighting your own mind daily, trying to survive emotionally while acting functional publicly. I still remember crying in silence at night, trying not to let my family hear me breaking. Cause sometimes emotional pain feels embarrassing, even when it's completely consuming. I sit there thinking about my failures, thinking about how behind I felt in life, watching everybody move forward happily while I struggle just surviving mentally. Social media made it even harder, honestly. Everybody posting achievements constantly, new relationships, new houses, new success stories daily. Meanwhile, I'm proud of myself for making it through the week without completely collapsing emotionally. Maybe that sounds pathetic to some people, but depression changes your definition of strength. Sometimes strength is not success. Sometimes strength is simply not giving up yet. There were moments I hated myself deeply, moments I felt worthless completely. Like no matter how hard I tried, I'd always lose against my mind. And the scary thing about self-hatred is eventually it starts sounding normal. You stop questioning the negativity because you hear it internally every day. You're not enough. You ruin everything. Nobody really needs you. You'll never heal. Those thoughts become dangerous when they repeat long enough. Sometimes I wonder how many people are secretly exhausted right now, smiling in public and crying once they get home, pretending to be okay because they don't know how to explain the pain. There was one night I drove for hours alone, no destination, no real purpose, just trying to breathe outside my room. Street lights reflecting off wet roads, music low while my thoughts overflowed. And for a second, I honestly felt like disappearing, not because kept ignoring my pain completely. It would eventually destroy me mentally. So slowly, I started trying to heal differently. Started taking walks alone without music. Started sitting with my emotions honestly. Started admitting I wasn't okay, instead of burying everything away. And healing felt uncomfortable at first, cause pain had become familiar. Chaos had become normal. And peace almost felt suspicious. But little by little, I started breathing easier. Yeah. Lately, I don't even recognize myself anymore. Same face, same name, but mentally, I feel like a completely different person. Like somewhere along the way, life took pieces of me, and I never got them back. I feel like a ghost in my own mind. Too many dark thoughts at the wrong time. Late nights, cold air, no sleep again. Trying hard not to break within. And nobody hears when silence screams. Nobody sees these broken dreams. Still breathing through the pain somehow, even if I feel completely lost right now. I've been emotionally tired for a long time. The type of tide you can't explain, right? Not physical, more like your soul worn out from carrying too much nobody knows about. I got memories that still hurt deeply, moments that changed me completely. Words people said years ago still echo inside me when I'm alone. That's the thing about emotional damage, it don't disappear just because time passes. Sometimes trauma hides inside your habits, inside your fears and overreactions. That's why I overthink everything constantly, cause my brain expects pain automatically. One small change in somebody's energy and suddenly my anxiety consumes me. I start wondering if they hate me now, if I said too much somehow, if I became annoying accidentally, if I'm too broken for people emotionally. And honestly, I know that mindset unhealthy, but depression changes how you see reality, makes love feel temporary and loneliness feels safer mentally. So I isolate even when I need people most. Sit alone inside dark rooms, feeling like a stranger to myself slowly. There were nights I stayed awake till sunrise, just staring at shadows in city lights, thinking about every mistake repeatedly, like my mind enjoys torturing me mentally. I replay conversations from years ago, replay failures nobody else remembers though, replay heartbreaks that already ended, yet somehow my chest still feels affected. And I know people say just move on, but healing ain't that simple once trauma strong, especially when your pain became part of your identity. After years of surviving emotionally, I started hating mirrors for a while, not because of looks, because of the emptiness behind my eyes. Like I lost something inside myself quietly, trying to survive everybody else constantly. I became the therapist friend accidentally, always helping people emotionally. Meanwhile, nobody noticed I was drowning too, cause I learned how to hide pain smoothly. That's what hurts honestly, feeling invisible while suffering deeply. Feeling like everybody hears your jokes, but nobody hears your silent screams. Some people are not cold-hearted, they just emotionally exhausted. After enough disappointment, the heart starts protecting itself automatically. I remember driving alone past midnight, rain falling under street lights, music loud while tears roll quietly, trying to escape my thoughts temporarily. And in those moments, life felt unbearably heavy, like everybody else knew where they were going, except me mentally. I watched people build happy lives, emotionally. Nobody post the nights they cry alone. Nobody upload, feeling mentally gone. Nobody shows anxiety attacks in bathrooms or depression, making simple tasks getting fast and full. That's why so many people suffer silently, cause everybody thinks they're alone emotionally. But truth is, millions of people fight invisible battles daily. They just hide it differently. And maybe somebody listening right now feels exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe you've been smiling while hurting deeply. Maybe you feel disconnected completely. Maybe you're tired of pretending, tired of carrying pain endlessly, tired of waking up exhausted mentally, even after sleeping technically. If that's you, I need you to hear me clearly tonight. You are not weak for struggling internally. You are not broken permanently, and you are not failing, because healing takes time, especially after surviving years of emotional fights. Some wounds don't heal quickly, some scars stay underneath permanently, but surviving them still means something powerful. Even when progress still's invisible, I still got dark thoughts sometimes, still battle anxiety every night, still fear abandonment deeply, still struggle loving myself completely, still get overwhelmed easily, still feel lonely randomly, still hear old voices inside my head, still remember painful things people said. But I also learned this: healing doesn't mean the pain never returns. It means you stop letting it fully control your world. It means learning how to breathe during storms instead of letting them destroy you completely. And maybe I'm still damaged emotionally. Yeah. You know what hurts the most? Not heartbreak, not failure, not even loneliness. It's feeling like you're slowly disappearing inside, while everybody thinks you're doing fine. That kind of pain changes a person quietly. I'm drowning in silence again, fighting these thoughts in my head. Cold nights, no sleep, just pain, trying hard not to break. And every smile feels fake lately. My own mind keeps trying to hate me. Still breathing through all this pressure, hoping life gets better. Heavy soul, tired eyes, crying when nobody finds. Still trying to survive, even when I feel dead inside. Think I got too used to hiding pain, too used to saying I'm okay. Even when my chest felt heavy every day, even when my thoughts became dangerous. Not dangerous to people, just dangerous to me. The type of thoughts that whisper quietly, you'll never be enough honestly. You're too broken to be loved correctly. You'll always feel empty mentally. And after hearing that long enough, you start believing it slowly. That's how depression works sometimes. It lies so often, it starts sounding truthful emotionally. I remember nights laying in complete darkness, phone glowing while tears fell silent. Scrolling through memories I should have deleted, reopening wounds that never healed completely. Thinking about people who changed on me, people who promised they'd never leave. Funny how fast forever disappears once life becomes inconvenient for people. And abandonment changes your heart deeply, makes attachment feel scary emotionally. Now every time somebody gets close to me, part of my brain prepares for them leaving. That's exhausting honestly, wanting love but fearing vulnerability, wanting connection but expecting disappointment, wanting peace while living mentally conflicted. I started isolating without noticing, days passing without real conversations, ignoring calls because mentally I didn't have energy for socializing. And depression steals motivation quietly. You stop caring about things gradually. Your room gets messy, sleep gets worse, and even simple tasks start feeling hard first. Nobody talks enough about that part, how mentally drained people fall apart. Not loudly, not dramatically, just slowly and silently. I had mornings where getting out of bed felt like carrying bricks inside my chest. Had nights where I prayed for sleep just to escape my own thoughts temporarily. And anxiety made everything worse too. Always expecting bad news, always overthinking tone changes, always assuming people secretly hate me. It's tiring living inside a mind that turns peace into paranoia every time. Tiring fighting battles nobody sees. Tiring begging your brain to let you breathe. And honestly, it's my times I envied happy people. Not rich people, not famous people, just people who wake up without emotional weight crushing them. People who sleep peacefully, people who don't replay old trauma constantly, people who don't hate themselves automatically, people who don't feel lonely in crowded places constantly. Sometimes the loudest cries never leave somebody's mouth. They stay trapped inside, slowly destroying them in silence. There was one night I seriously broke down, sitting alone while rain poured outside. No music, no distractions, just me finally facing everything I built emotionally. And for the first time in a long time, I admitted I was tired. Tired of pretending, tired of overthinking, tired of feeling emotionally empty, tired of carrying sadness secretly. I started thinking about younger me, the version that still believed in life deeply, the version that laughed naturally before anxiety became part of my identity. I miss that version sometimes, honestly, before heartbreak changed me completely, before trauma made trust disrepute, before loneliness became comfortable. Cause loneliness becomes addictive eventually, not because it feels good, but because it feels safer emotionally than getting hurt repeatedly. That realization scared me honestly, how disconnected I became socially, how easy it became staying alone. And while feeling emotionally cold, and social media made it harder too. Everybody showing perfect views, perfect bodies, perfect love, perfect happiness every single month. Meanwhile I'm sitting in darkness, trying to convince myself life still matters, trying to survive another sleepless night, trying not to completely lose my mind. Somewhere deep inside me, a small part still wanted healing, still wanted peace, still wanted love, still wanted mornings that didn't hurt, still wanted to feel alive again genuinely. So slowly, I started rebuilding myself quietly. Started going outside more often, started journaling my emotions honestly. Started learning my pain deserved attention instead of constant suppressions, and healing wasn't beautiful honestly. Some days felt unbearable mentally, some days old memories that turned strongly, some days I hated myself completely.